Anyone has any IoT business they want to bring up?
No.
Okay. No will suffice.
Yep.
All right. So I do have something to bring up, but go ahead.
Go for it.
All right. So, as I said before, I have the account established for projects and whatever we're doing. So, and I said I want to get everyone my PayPal information. Do you guys already have like PayPal installed on your Surface? You guys use PayPal?
Yeah, I already have your PayPal stuff.
I know we've already exchanged funds before. I already have.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. You could probably just throw it in the Discord, make it easy.
Okay, so here's my goal. Basically, my goal is to have about $200 deposited every month so we can maximize the return on our interest. That way we get a 4% on the first $3,000. So what I will do is this. At the end of the month, I'll see exactly how much we have available deposit. I won't deposit any more than $200 a month. If we have less than $200 a month there, I will make up the difference on my own. But yeah, so we have from now until the 31st to deposit $200 before we miss the window. Okay.
All right. So I'll put in 50 on the next paycheck.
Sounds good.
I could put in 50 right now.
So put in whatever you want. I said I'll make up the difference at the end, the last day of the month.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and put that in the Discord. Okay. Now that we have that out of the way, how's everybody doing?
Still trying to get through the chapter. Like I was telling Matt and Leon, though, it's honestly bringing up more questions than answers. I feel like there's a lot of it I'm not really understanding, so I'm going to work with Leon to do some hands-on exercises so I can really understand this stuff.
Yeah. Hands-on exercises for Eric is what he needs. All hands-on.
Well, I mean, I'm learning a lot just by helping you with the pallet shed and everything.
Well, he needs to learn about, the big capacitors. The resistors.
Well, this meeting was great, guys. Have a nice day.
Well, I also learned quite a bit whenever he came over, because he also helped me determine different stuff going on with my furnace too. So literally anything that I'm actively working with and doing something with my hand, I'm almost always learning immensely from that, even if it's just something small.
You hear that, guys? He's learning shit from me.
Even if it's small, is what he said.
Even if it's small, hey, it's not the size; it's the tool, bro. And the skill of the craftsman.
It's the size.
Oh my goodness.
So when you're I'm not even commenting on that. Anything to say about that?
Darnell.
Because I can go so many ways sideways on that, and I don't think I think Darnell will actually blush.
No. Dick.
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, Eric, I'm inclined to agree with you. Truth be told, I'm going to go through all the chapters I've gone through before just so I can get a better understanding of everything. And I plan on using some of the online tools so that I can do more hands-on with the experiment. But you're right. I mean, the less interactive it is, the harder it is to absorb this information.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it is too, especially whenever actually comes to actually explaining a circuit. We can explain all we want to on paper, but unless you actually physically see how it works, it's not going to stick. So
yeah, I mean, it's a great introduction to this sort of thing, but until you actually have the equipment there and you're building something, you're not really going to know what you're in for. I mean, I love the physics of it, such as the exchange of electrons and the process that the electrons go through when they hit each individual component. But if you ask me exactly how it worked, I would be at a loss.
Right. I get you.
Mm-hmm. And I love the formulas. Oh my God, I love them. But yeah.
The one thing I hate.
I love the math part of it. It is the best part of all of it.
The math part is fun. The retention for the formulas is really crappy for me is the problem.
Yeah.
So.
Bitch, get out of my space.
Hey. It's the final frontier.
Gonna make Eric spit up his drink.
See, it's ebony and ivory.
Oh my God. Still the worst.
Yeah, I know. I'll go to the hazy, the purple haze.
Oh my god.
That's right. 420 bitches blazing.
So let me go and get this thing. I didn't have anything to say. I was just looking at something.
No, you're good.
So the Discord that's just IoT chat. That's just us, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
And Eli.
Oh yeah. Us and Eli. Yeah.
Damn Hank. Sorry, Hank's farting over here.
No.
Yeah. He's a stinky cat.
No.
What?
No.
Oh, yeah, no,
What do you do?
I have nothing to say about that stinky pussy.
I mean,
I knew that's where you were going with it.
he is definitely stinky pussy.
Jesus Christ.
This will be on YouTube, you idiots. Stop talking like that.
Is this going to be on YouTube?
Huh?
Why? We don't really have anything to talk about.
Yes,
matter.
You just going to put it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will. He will put it on.
It's,
You know
it's
he
the
will.
shenanigans of IoT.
Yeah, I mean, it does make it seem like, hey, we're also just a group of guys.
Yeah.
Just shooting the shit.
Pretty much.
I think every now and again having a meeting like that is fine. I just don't want it to become like half of our fucking meetings.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the fun in that?
Jesus Christ, this cat is loud.
So it's just literally your same name on here at PayPal.
Excuse me. Yep, it's that easy.
I'm keeping it simple.
I tend to also, so no worries.
Fuck, it's been a while since I've done PayPal. I'm gonna have to go ahead and hop back in and see what I gotta do.
I just don't want the funds going directly to the account because it's like if I deposit over $200 in 1 month, it's just.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't plan on leaving money on the table, so.
Let's see. So we're going to, well, just since we are talking about this and everything. So I apologize. I slacked the past couple weeks because I should have got the step up. But I have been looking for what we need for the tracker.
Okay.
So I had a couple questions. So are we wanting an LCD be on this?
I didn't think so.
So we're just doing the lights, right? Just showing communication and power and connection, right?
Yeah,
That's it?
we want something that someone's not trying to steal.
Yeah, honestly,
Okay.
I thought we were going with a simple design to start with, and maybe improve
Yeah,
on
no, I do have that drawing of that. That's our original one that only had like I think it was only 4 LEDs, and then we had like the 2 push buttons on the side, right? Okay. So I just want to make sure. What I was thinking is what we can do is we can also do an accelerometer for it, so that way if you fall, like if it detects so many G's at one time, like I think it's like 2 G's, which is what a fall is, it'll actually send a SOS.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
So kind of like the help me, I've fallen, I can't get up thing.
Yep.
What the hell are those things called?
It's hitting Leon
Life
personally.
alert.
Life
Life
alert.
alert.
life alert.
Hey, don't judge.
Okay.
Hey, when this fat ass falls, everyone needs to be aware. No, go
I
ahead.
want to preface what I'm about to say with I love the fact that this group has always had a lot of ambition, which is wonderful because it tends to create a lot of great ideas. However, we try to do too much too soon.
I agree.
So maybe for now we keep it simple, and then we see what we can add on later. Because so far,
So hold on a minute. So the accelerometer is actually built into the hat that comes with it.
okay, great then.
It's yeah. I was just letting you know. So what we are wanting to do, I want to make sure we get the equipment that we want to be able to have it do. We can work to each step one by one, but I want to be able to have that ability to be able to do it instead of having to like redo all the motherboard and the PCB on it and everything. There's also a site that we can get the PCBs if we want to build our own for like $2 a board.
Okay.
So, and like we can actually design our own board, which will actually unify the Raspberry Pi into the board, which is kind of what I want to do. So,
But I also think that we shouldn't get too terribly sidetracked because even though it's a good idea, I think that's something we should have as sort of like a bonus feature. Like, hey, let's go ahead and like table this so that we can focus on the core idea. We can still test this. Like, if we got additional time, let's go ahead and see how that would work, the code and everything.
Yep.
Just have it where it's something that as is, like that's in a version like 2.0, for example, or something like that.
Well,
Yep.
I'm thinking that version 1 should have basically what is essential for this particular project to make it something that people will be interested in. Leon, why? Just why? 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 God!
Is he
okay. So to kind of build on what Darnell just said, why don't we just keep the prototype on a board? That way you don't have to mess around with anything.
You mean on a breadboard?
Yeah. Prototype stays on a breadboard.
That's
and
fine.
then you do your finished product, and if you want to build, you use the breadboard to go off of it.
I agree.
Yeah, like right now, I think our goal should be proof of concept for what is basically I want to consider version 1.0, like
that's cool.
Yep.
Like Eric was saying. For right now, if we could focus on that and we could look to fund simply proof of concept.
All right, so I don't have a pen or paper here with me. So whoever's typing or whatever or who has something.
Nobody's typing. These are just the minutes. That's the whole reason why I just go ahead and put up the video.
Okay, that's fine. So we need to list our top priority features then.
Okay.
So what I would like to ask everyone, that was going to be my next thing. So what I would like to ask everyone to do, and I would like for this to be done by Friday morning, is to compile a list of features that you believe this device to have and to send it to Leon. That way Leon can kind of filter through what we can do and what we can't do right now and what is and is not essential.
So I think I know what we're talking about. Well, what is this device? The GPS tracker?
Yes, it's, the rape whistle that we initially said it was, and then it's going to be a little bit more than what it was. More like well, I mean that's what we were calling it to begin with. Remember?
I know. I wasn't happy about it then.
I know.
So we're just basically having a list of basic features we think it should have. Why don't we all come up with different ideas for a name for it too?
For sure.
Literally anything but rape whistle.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I'm sure there would be people that would download an iRape Whistle app, but it's very on the nose.
No, actually, it would be rape.io.
Oh, nobody would ever want to go to that.
Listen, that only caters to a specific crowd, and it's not the one we want.
We are steering away from the R word. Thank you.
But is it the crowd we deserve?
So the premium subscription, what it gives you is access to all the rape whistles on the map. So you can kind of hunt. Does that make sense? So this could be twofold. I'm just saying we can protect people, and then we can also create the demand.
You and is he allowed to have a fruit snack?
No, I mean, think about it.
We'll publish this one.
I think that's what Pfizer is doing, right?
Oh my God!
COVID-19, and now they come out with the vaccine. I mean, it's a thing.
So Friday, ideas for names and ideas to Leon.
Oh, you know what I think would be a really cool gadget? Just as a gadget, like one of those little spy gadget type deals. Wouldn't it be awesome if there was a universal button that if you were in trouble, you could press it and it would disable child safety locks on any car, any vehicle? Well, the reason being, so yes, there are a lot of like safety tips, like, hey, ladies, if you're traveling late at night and you're getting ready to go ahead and go in an Uber, check to make sure the child safety locks are off first before you get in the car. Like, you can check that on the door. But if you're just like, I can barely walk, I just need to go home, and you're not even fucking thinking straight, and suddenly, why are we on the highway? Oh, fuck. Like, it'd be really handy if, like, you had an app on the phone. So hold on a second. So
easy solution.
Actually, this is kind of getting into something good. But the thing is, you'd have to work with auto manufacturers to be able to do something what you're wanting to do. You don't necessarily have to be able to control it, but it should be able to get a ping from the car that you get into, since most of them are some kind of electronic smart cars. You get a ping and it states the status of the doors.
Yeah.
So if it states this, obviously you don't get in. And if it states that, you do get in. So
Or
that, right?
it would also be nice if you had something that could go ahead and shut it off like an OnStar.
But
So it
then
just completely shuts down the car.
Thing is, then you'd be going into like literal safety issues.
I know.
Or
You're going into a safety issue anyway if you're able to unlock any car, because then it's like, well, it's just an
that's what I'm
automatic
saying.
hacking device.
You're not unlocking cars.
Yeah.
You get the status of the car.
Right.
That's information. Now, if you go into like trying to do physical things to the doors, that's never going to fly. Period.
Gotcha.
It won't.
Well, that's the reason why I was thinking child safety lock, because if you could, because it doesn't actually mess with the integrity of the vehicle. It doesn't like lock or unlock specific features. It doesn't like cause the car to like, whatever. It would just literally disable the child safety locks. Now, yes, it could technically be a hazard if it's like somebody's messing with you remotely and they know you got a bunch of kids in the car and whoa, technically that's kind of a long shot, especially if you had limited range on it. Like, let's say it just started throwing out lots of different random codes, like known codes for child safety locks for cars, and it would only be able to do it within like a 10-foot radius or something. So if you had something like that, even if you're like hitting it multiple times, eventually.
And then the issue is if you go into like a traffic jam.
Okay.
Cars are closer to 10 foot.
it's just a law in general.
I just
I know.
10 foot. Sorry, 10
The
feet.
car you're inside of, I don't think a 10-foot radius would be needed. I mean, honestly, especially if you just had to stretch your arm and boom. I mean, I think maybe 1 to 2 feet at most.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
before you ever get into a stranger's car, you just bring a window hammer and you're good to go.
Make a note of that, and like kind of like what you're wanting to do with it, because that's there's like how we used to do before. There's the nays and the yays. So like come up with the pros and cons of it, and everybody else come up with the pros and cons too, because I can come up with a hell of a lot of cons not to do it. And that's
No,
the
I
problem.
get you. It just came to mind whenever literally we made the suggestion of rape whistle. I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
because dude, I listen to a lot of Let's Not Meet stuff, and like there's so much stuff that I'm like, man, if this existed, it would be really cool, just something like that. But yeah, no, I get it, especially from a safety concern.
Hey guys, we could get married like this. We could literally be on the beach and get married.
All right.
See, I got the 3 best men here.
Well, yeah,
It was a joke, guys. It was a joke.
but there's no after party on Zoom meetings. That's the problem.
You're just gonna invite the wrong people.
Right?
Have you ever been on a
down there
mega?
doing?
Oh my god, no.
What the hell are you down there doing?
Oh.
You're like,
I'm taking some notes because honestly, I'm not sure exactly how child safety locks work. I mean, I know how they work, but how they're getting engaged remotely. So I'm just going to do some research on
Most of them are
how
engaged
child safety
remotely.
locks work for vehicles between 2016 and 2020.
A lot of
So-
them, you just have a physical button that's inside the car that you turn on and off. I don't know if you can do it
I know
remotely.
that I know you can engage them that way, but
Yeah.
then how would
Or
we disengage them?
I will say, even if the car is even older, it's
Mhm.
literally you open the door and then flick something and then
Yep.
shut
Yeah.
it.
right.
Exactly.
here's
disengagement.
right. So here's what I'm thinking, and this is the reason I said it's one of those things where I don't think you're going to be able to get manufacturers to go with it, because they're allowing you third-party access to safety features.
Mhm.
Right.
So it might be something that you could literally get Uber to agree to.
Uber to agree to show the status, and that's
Yes.
it. No, you can't. They still will not allow
you to remotely access the car.
Well,
Right.
the other problem is there's so many people that pose as Ubers, so it's like,
So then my original solution
Actually,
was
it's much harder to pose as an Uber than you think, because when you request an Uber, you get the license plate number, the picture of the driver, make and model and color of the car. So getting into a car accidentally is really, really hard.
The
So when
news-
that story came out about that girl getting that car accidentally, I'm like, that's a 1 in 1,000 shot.
it's the drunk girls who are sitting outside the club coming
yeah,
out.
that's got to be it. Because, like I said, these let's not meets are really deceiving. Because a lot of it's like I called an Uber. It's like top 10 Uber horror stories, and I'm like,
Dude,
A lot of those are straight bullshit.
the solution I already gave you, man. You keep one of those little hammer things that you can knock out a window with.
Yep.
And literally just be like, this ain't what I'm
And
supposed
what?
to be.
She had that in her purse while she was in the club?
well, technically, you can keep it.
No, stop. It could actually be built into the rape whistle.
How big are those things?
Huh? Those? They're not big at all.
Literally
They
like
just-
that.
it's literally it's just a piece of steel, hardened
You
steel.
literally do that and break the window.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's all like pressure based. Like you don't even have to hit that hard.
they're designed for if you accidentally crash into a lake, for example, and you got to get the fuck out like right now, and your power
Yep.
windows
And
aren't
you
working.
don't have to have the ones with the springs. It can just be a pin on the bottom of the device. So it's
I'll be back in a sec, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
I
an
was-
idea.
I was also going to suggest, well, more people need to carry them anyway. Cobotons.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're flying down the hallway or highway and you see someone's window bust, you're usually gonna call somebody.
you think.
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends. If it's on Sullivan Avenue, I'm not calling anybody. I'm just getting the fuck out of there.
I'm saying highway. Like you never want to see
Oh, yeah.
a window bust on the highway. I've seen it happen. It's not a cool thing.
No.
It's either me or 5 other people are gonna all call 911 at the same time. Like, yeah, man, this glass is flying up my car. Part of me wants to get a new paint job, and I think I should get this on my insurance.
Yep.
Right.
Other part of me is like, the guy's still trying to drive off a busted windshield. You should probably get someone to get him.
Yep.
Ugh.
I wish I had my paper here or my tablet. Yeah, I know I got pens, but I don't have the papers. Because right now I'm thinking about the way it's going to look.
That's good. I had a weird idea, even though like it was not IoT related at all. But I wrote down that American coin needs Braille.
The American coin needs Braille. Oh yeah, I remember you stating that.
Yeah, like I don't like. I'm sure.
Well, you know they have kind of like have something similar overseas, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you could make an app that could read the dollar bill to people that can't see.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
Although to
Then
be
you should order
fair,
your food.
each individual coin has a different. Not
You expect a
necessarily
blind person to know that.
Well, I mean, they would be taught that. That's the thing. In school, the whole 9 yards. Just like, hey, here's the difference as far as the sizes, and here's what it feels like on the front and the back. And
I know,
Yeah.
but it's just the fact of making them feel like
oh, I know, Braille's still a good idea.
it's more of a sense thing than like anything else. Like,
Yeah.
hey, people are recognizing that they need to be more tolerant to us.
Yep.
What's the topic?
No,
Oh, I one night I was drunk and me and Leon were just chatting. I said the American dollar or coin needs Braille.
oh, dollar definitely. There's really no way to tell that. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. But like what I was saying was the coins. You could technically, but for the most part, most
Coins are
blind
determined by
people.
size. I get
Yeah, and also even the sides of the coins feel a little different and everything.
But even then, like the print, like on the print, they should still have the Braille for it.
I'm not sure how they would do that with the dollar, though.
It wouldn't.
You would just make an app that could read it for them.
Yeah.
Kind of like have you guys ever used KeyBank's deposit deal?
Yes. I just told you.
Katie's screaming yes, so
I
maybe.
Katie wasn't screwed. Did you
Okay,
say it?
it was maybe it was on.
No, I got people
I
back
think it
here
was one in your
talking.
background. So,
Someone-
anyways, KeyBank's ATM, it'll actually, I think most ATMs do now. They scan
Yep.
cash, so you can deposit cash directly.
Yeah.
We could actually do something like that where you have a actual a scanner built into whatever you're looking at, you're using, like a device that connects directly to your phone.
Yep.
Like a case, like an iPhone case that you could put the money in and you could see it. Something of that sort, which I know that sounds silly, an iPhone for a blind person, but there actually are blind people that have.
Plenty of
iPhones.
blind people have phones.
Yeah.
In general, it's just a thing.
Oh, I'm sure they have like a text-to-speech function and everything there.
Right.
Absolutely, for the apps and all of it.
I mean, how many apps do you have that can decipher different languages on anything?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
It's just a matter of getting someone to read it, so that way they can hear it through subtext. Which Google doesn't do a great job of it, but as an example,
Yeah.
like our CC, sure, it's not the perfect CC, but it's there.
So we were just talking about this. So we're trying to get this to where it does where it has GPS on board and cellular on board, correct?
And we're trying to make it so that way they can relay to each other to be able to distribute a wider range of service than what an average GPS could actually deliver.
Are we wanting this to be a something that's able to ping back to? That was something we were talking about. Was if you're in the like a decent area of one, like another one, they ping off of each other, making the signal stronger, basically creating a mesh network.
Mhm.
So, are we still looking to do that? Or do you guys even remember talking about that?
I'd say we kill it for the prototype until we just get a regular GPS system working.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is I'm trying to think of it, because depending on the boards that we're using, we can actually integrate the mesh network like really easy. That's just a couple lines of code. So that's that, and if it brings up the signal even more, what that would do is the whole point is that if you're in the same area with somebody like that that's doing an SOS, the closer you get to them, the signal gets stronger. So you can actually it's like a hunt option.
Wasn't the target to build a map with data location of where to stay away from?
Yes, originally.
Yep. So like, and then that's like all down the road, but yeah, that was the whole point, and part of that had to do with the locations of this. So like if device A falls down a hill and that's seen as an event, a bad event, somebody that's close to them will pick up on that and say, okay, do not go near this area because it's a treacherous area, that type of thing. That's the whole point. Follow me? Yes, no.
No, I would mark to the map that, hey, this is an area that's dangerous, and the person who this happens to survive, they can set
I
up.
think what we were talking about doing was integrating GPS to Google Maps, so that way you could actually use your phone with it to actually see the map itself, right?
Yeah. We're also discussing having it be able to notify emergency services.
Right.
Okay.
So.
But what would also be great is if it sent out like a help request, not just to emergency services, but anybody else who happens to have that same device.
That's what we said too. So if you remember right, that's what we were talking about. There was a couple things, like if there's something that happens, so it's going to issue a hey, I'm in trouble, and then after a certain delayed amount of time, if that hey, I'm in trouble is not answered or stopped, it escalates to contact people in your contact list. And then after another 5 minutes or whatever, then it does the emergency. You see what I'm saying? So it does an escalation of contact. Okay. Cool. So, and I think that's what it's initially what. So this is what we were looking at, if I remember right.
Now, one thing. So there's one thing we also have to consider, and again, I know this is a little more advanced, but yeah, one thing we definitely need to consider. So if it's put into,
we see it.
Yep. If it's put into like an emergency mode, and it starts doing the whole contact procedure. Here's the deal. So let's say whoever the bad guy is in this scenario knows of this device. He sees her go ahead and press it, and then he real quickly destroys it.
So that's the thing. So the first thing is if you remember right. So again, going back toward the little diagram here.
Okay.
Yeah. So these right here, if I can get them. Okay. So those little strips up there, that's God damn it. Sorry. So that's supposed to be the necklace. So, or however we're attaching this. So that if that gets removed from, like if it has a breakaway, it's going to set off a signal regardless. So it's not supposed to break. That's the whole point. So if that breaks, it sends out an immediate SOS. Period. And that's not like escalated. That will be an SOS. Like
So instead of it going from like green to yellow to red, it's just red. Bam.
Exactly. Because if you lose the device off your person, we want that to be an SOS. Period. So, and then if you look down, it looked like it had a pecker on the bottom of it.
Yes, we are.
So I know that's a terrible way to say it, but it has a little nipple on the end. So that is actually going to be a retractable. That will be up inside.
Okay.
What? I can't even right now. So I've already looked up. Like I was just looking up the spring for this. We could use 100-pound spring in that little space with a 3D print, which ABS should be able to handle a 100-pound pressure like that. And if that were, you hit a little latch off of that, put it up against the window, and that will fucking snap a window in no time. Because window only needs like 50 pounds pressure in 1 point.
Nice.
So I think that would be more than enough. It could end up destroying the inside of the thing, but again, if something happens and that breaks, we're going to make a circuit right there. If that thing gets hit, SOS hits. Because if you're having to use that to break something, it's an emergency.
You're obviously in trouble, yeah.
Right, exactly. So, and you could do that easily with putting a contact on the back of that. So when the spring releases, the contact moves, and you're good.
Although now it's technically weaponized as well.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You don't think so?
I mean, no, because it's not. That's not going to hit anything hard enough to kill them. I mean, if you put it up against their skull, maybe it might be able to like crack their skull, but it's still not going to kill them. It's not going to pierce it far enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because it has to go past like an inch and a half or like a half inch. I think
it's still no different than someone carrying around a pocket knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, no, that was my major concern because as soon as you said 100 pounds of pressure, I'm like, what can 100 pounds of pressure do to a person?
I mean, it's no different than like me standing on top. Like, well, I'm not 100 pounds, obviously, but me standing on top of somebody.
So I know this sounds silly, but my hands, if I grab a hold of you, I just found out like with the, those hand grippy things.
Yeah. Yep.
So Keller, Katie's nephew, has one that sets up to 145, and I can do that. I can crunch that without even blinking.
Okay.
So that's just what I can do with my hands. So think about that.
Yeah.
And that's just a tap. So it's nothing super severe. I mean, you could probably hurt somebody if you intended to, but that's not the purpose of it. So
right. No, I get you.
I could hurt you. Obviously, I could hurt you with a 40-ounce can of Twisted Tea.
Oh, I know. Right. Exactly.
You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's.
I love the Twisted Tea memes.
Yep. Anyways, and also, if you guys remember right, we had an activation buttons on these.
Yep.
All right. Pull it back. God damn it! Why is it blinking?
Well, it's disappearing.
I know, right? So we had a 1 and a 2. So to be able to initiate the SOS without destroying the device, you're supposed to be able to hold the 1 and 2 buttons together for like a certain amount of time, like 5 seconds or 8 seconds, whatever it was we determined. But the 1 and 2s are just activation buttons to be able to cycle through like some like menus, like through the LEDs, and that's it.
Well, you could even technically have it where it's like a 4-digit code you got to punch in to deactivate it or something too.
Yeah, exactly. And you could do that. I mean, it's just be a matter of like
Be
how
like,
many.
whoops, I accidentally went ahead and disconnected. Fuck, this thing always falls off all the time. Let me get that. Kind of one of those. That way it's like, no, I'm not in danger. Literally, this thing is just falling off or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this device you plan on having like an associated app on your cell phone, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
There's an app for this device on your cell phone. Yes?
So initially, yes. I mean, not initially. Yes. At some point, there should be an app that this thing directly talks to back and forth to.
That'd probably be the best way to get your network moving, anyways.
That's my point. Is we're going to have a server for this all to talk back to start out with. So
the reason I asked is that let's say there is an emergency where it determines that you've fallen or the device is broken. That way there's an app where you can put in like, hey, this is the phone number to call for emergency services in this particular area. Something that you would load up before you went on a trip, or something that you've already put in there before you went out for the night. Say like, hey, here's the phone number for the police, just to kind of ping them and let them know that, hey, this person is in a crisis.
I said to.
So with hold on, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, my volume on my thing went down. So with 911 on cellular service, it's never in the actual area you're in. You know that, right? So if you dial 911, it's actually the cell carrier that's sending you to your local's 911.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter who it's through. So if our device is through AT&T, it's going to be 911's distress call. And then they'll direct it. So what we would do, because obviously we're not talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
So which actually I guess we kind of technically could get a mic on this. So because you already have the cellular into it, so it's just a matter of programming and make sure we have a mic, and we already have a speaker for audible sounds for this anyways. So we could technically make this an actual cell phone without a screen is basically what we'd be doing.
Yeah.
Like literally a mobile life alert is what this would be. And you just have everything built in.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We have to figure that out. Yeah. Sorry. My brain is just, I'm trying to think what I'm wanting to do here.
That's okay.
And actually, yeah, that would actually be a good idea to do.
Do what?
I could do a speaker here, and a speaker here. So that would be your external speakers. So the speaker, the external the actual blowout speakers, talkie speakers, would be on the sides, just below the lanyard, and then the actual mic speaker would be between the two buttons. So because you only need one button, and we could actually do a noise canceling mic just right beside it to avoid any like issues with like fuzz or whatever. But we're not really worried about call quality, at least not right now, because we're not going to be having no like.
No, dude, you just
conversations.
the old Sprint walkie-talkie shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, like the Cricket Wireless.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what I'm thinking. Let me see here. Got that. And then this would be about the size of we're going to use a Raspberry Zero initially.
Yep.
With a GPRS and cell hat built in, and with the accelerometer and all that, because all that's built into the actual cell hat.
Okay.
So you're talking, I think it was 4 inches for the actual Raspberry Pi Zero by about 2 inches, and then your hat is. Why are you doing that, Matt?
Thank you.
Like kind of freaky.
I had to make the joke.
Very unnerving.
So then your cell hat is about 2. I think it's 1.5 inches. It doesn't cover the entire cell Raspberry Pi, but it's pretty close. And then your case would probably be about 2 inches by 4 inches, and probably about 1.5 inches thick. So that's not super big. And this is just the prototype. So like, the bigger it is, it's obviously going to be big anyways, until we can like figure out how to minimize it. Follow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we got that. Oh, and Darnell, real quick, while I'm thinking about it, I might be sending you some plans for something I need printed.
Okay.
Do we have gray ABS?
Let me think. Yes, we did.
Yes,
Actually, silver.
I remember.
Silver?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's silver, I can make it work. Do you have any black?
All kinds of black.
Oh, sorry. Are you talking about ABS or PLA?
Not you.
Either.
No. You don't even know what the hell I'm asking him for. Shut up. So I need it to be made out of ABS.
Okay, we only have one color ABS. That's white. So I would need to order it.
White ABS?
Yeah, that's the only one that we ever ordered. Remember, we were having trouble using it, so we stopped ordering it.
Yeah, because the ABS didn't work with that printer.
Except when we took off the thing and it started sticking to the printer, so it works now.
Okay.
I was able to print some stuff off using it.
You have?
Yeah, I printed off one of those Flexi Rexies, but the material is not great for flexing.
Okay. So basically, yeah, no, it's not going to be basically it's a part for a refrigerator for work. I want to see if I can print because I've got the specs and everything, and I've actually got the drawings, and I've got a micrometer that I got all the measurements for. Yeah. So if I since you're working with SketchUp like I am lately, if I send you the file, you can kind of tweak it and get it to print out for me. Okay, cool. I might have you do that here in the next day or so because I got to get it actually up on SketchUp.
I'm like that. I'd probably suggest 100% fill.
So it is. It's going to be 100% fill.
Yeah.
So this thing, if I can make this work, this might be something that we can make money off of, like directly. So that's the reason I want to see if we can do it first. I'm here at work. I've got 256 refrigerators, and every time we have to buy one of these handles, we have to buy it for the handle and the fucking bracket, and all I need is the bracket. The handle is aluminum.
Okay.
So the bracket is only it's like a fucking 3-inch piece that just snaps into place, and then I screw down on it. So I have to make sure it's durable and sturdy. I figure I can sell it for about $15 a piece after we get it done.
And that's why it's changed the account.
Yeah, because exactly, that's my point. So it's with this, if they were to accept it and let me do this, the only place I can find these actual brackets is on Amazon, and they're like not even the same one, but they're pricing for somewhere around $30 a piece.
Yeah, Dish tried to have me do something similar to that.
Yeah, what's that?
Dish tried to have me do something similar to that while we were still working in the building.
Yeah, making the stupid caps for the stupid metal things.
Because you can't buy them anymore, so they were going to have me make them, but I would need a 3D scanner just so that I could recreate it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So
you get a micrometer and just measure it all out.
Yeah, I'm good. So
I mean, I would help you with that, dude. That's
Darnell has a Dish because it was this very small, overly complicated piece.
Yeah.
And it would be a bitch and a half to measure it all out. I decided I wasn't going to do that, and I just got
You got the 3D scanner.
3D scan program, and I was going to go ahead and do it, but then they sent us all home.
Yeah, that's right. But you still got the program. It's just we had to sketch out the stupid. Were you doing it on your cell phone? I can't remember.
Yeah, I was doing it on my cell phone.
So a cell phone, a turntable, and then just the placemat that has the hexacrosses.
That's it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still doable. It's just it might not be completely.
So I'm debating. I might end up. I might be trying to get myself a 3D printer too to have here at the house. Because it's nice that we have one that we can share, but I want one that I can fucking do like right here. So, and that's what it is. But I'm thinking about getting an Ender. So, an Ender or a Prussia. So,
doesn't the Ender do burning? Or it does burning too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, not.
Oh, you're not getting that one. Okay.
No, I want the Glowforge. The Glowforge does the actual laser burning, which I'd love to have, but yeah, that ain't going to happen right now.
I mean,
don't roll your eyes at me.
There was literally one for sale down here for what was it, 800?
What?
It wasn't a bad. One of the ones that does like the dual extrusion with the laser burner.
I know. Fuck that. I ain't going. The Glowforge that I wanted is like fucking $3,400, and that's for the base model. So, and I don't see the point of why it's so fucking expensive. It's stupid. You can actually build them out of like an actual laser etcher out of CD drives, and like how we were going to do the 3D printer out of CD drives.
Oh,
Yeah.
They have one. I actually saw plans for one for a laser etcher and a CNC router.
I have a laser pointer at the house that can burn shit.
Nice.
It pushes out, what was it, like 3,500 watts?
Jesus.
Yeah, literally, if I point at a piece of paper for 5 seconds, it'll catch fire.
Nice.
I think
What the hell is that?
it's on the stand somewhere, actually. Oh,
Aim it right at your camera.
Oh yeah, that's a smart idea. Where is that fucker? It's huge too. It's like this fucking big.
Get a couple of lenses on it and amplify it.
I accidentally did amplify it through a windshield. It's a thing I haven't put up because I think one of the kids were like, "Hey, a laser pointer." I was like, "No, not."
Just point it at a disco ball in a club and watch back and see what happens. See it.
So, yeah,
It's really hot in here for some reason. Oh my god, the whole place is on fire. The roof.
right. So yeah, I'm thinking a couple things here. So on the LED lights to show like comms or like they're working properly. Obviously, you'd have the red. Excuse me, like a red light for the power or a green light, whatever.
Wouldn't we just use one of the what the fuck is the one that has the 3 legs and it changes 3 different colors?
Yeah, I don't want RGB on the power light. Unless we do that and like show like the percentage of battery.
Yeah. I was just kind of thinking RGB on everything, just for alerts and alarms and everything else.
Yeah, because I don't want it. Because even the lights will get too complicated. You see,
I
what I'm
know.
saying?
It's just
because people be like, "Why do I have 4 green lights and 1 red light and a yellow light?" Like, I don't know.
like,
So like the ping, like the ping would be good because the ping would state, red light, there is nobody around you. Yellow light, you're getting within range of people, and then green light would be like you're within a certain amount of feet of people. And then the for the SOS, that would be our yellow, green, yellow, and red for the SOS. So green would mean normal contacts, yellow for whatever, and then red for like I'm fucking need help.
I was just thinking RGB for everything because if you get like an extreme situation, everything just starts blinking red crazy. That it's just one of those things that's could frighten the right person away from someone.
If we do this right, we could actually put a strobe on it too. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Something with like a I know it sounds complicated, but it's not. Think about that. If you're trying to find somebody, they're in a fucking set of bushes and you can't see them in the middle of the dark, but you see the strobing light that's been going off for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Darnell doesn't like this.
I like it. I think we're getting to that point where we're getting very ambitious to what we want this.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just going off of what we're wanting it to do. That's all.
I understand. I just think that let's make sure that version 1 is kind of simplified. So
We'll just write it all down and break it down.
Yep.
Yeah, version 1 needs to be everything that it absolutely has to do.
Yep.
Because I think all of these ideas are great. I just think we're going to try to make them all work at one time, and then we're going to.
No, that's not what I'm not saying to do it all at one. I'm not saying to do it all at one time. I'm saying that's something I would like to see on it.
Yeah. So yes, how about we make a category for what we would like it to be for version 1, and what it's going to be for version 1. Okay.
I agree.
Thank you. I'm glad you did.
I'm still gonna do whatever the fuck I want to. I'm just saying.
That'll be on your proto.
He's going rogue.
Oh God's sake.
That's what we'll call it. We'll call it Rogue One.
No.
or not?
Apparently, I'm scaring the cats.
Okay.
Sounds like a Leon thing to do.
Yeah.
I described to people what I was doing in the IoT club, and it's like, yeah. So at this point, we're kind of like a mad scientist club, and they're like, oh, do you make bombs? And I'm like,
Yes.
not yet.
Right. Exactly. We still have some tasers to make.
Yeah, it's like block.
Right. I was like, do I want to respond to this on Facebook? I probably don't. It's like, no, not at all. Never. We would never do that.
The possibilities are limited with your imagination.
Right.
That's
For educational purposes only.
That's right.
Wait, what? We're educated?
And we can be. So yeah.
Getting there.
What is it? I will have our parts that we need. I will actually have our parts next Monday.
I'll come up with a small idea list like you're talking about, Darnell. Kind of shoot shit and all that.
Yeah. Has anybody thought of anything else other than this as well, or are we just going to focus directly on this?
I think for this meeting we can focus directly on this. I don't think anyone had anything else, did we?
Well, shopping cart boy over there.
Yeah. Sorry, it got kind of pushed back with job searching.
No, I got you.
Understandable.
So I'd still like to look into that, but I would also still like to start working. If Eric's willing to do it, I'd still want to start working back on the door sensors.
Yeah.
And get that actually up and running 100% like we had it. And then now, since I can actually test them here at the house, God damn, I got infected hair on my leg.
Figure it out with your dad.
My brain. So anyways, I want to be able to integrate a camera in it to where I can do facial recognition on it as well.
Okay.
So that way, if you open up the door, it shoots out shoots a scan of whoever's coming through the door and hits it and says, "Oh, this is Leon. We don't need the alarm." If not, if it's Hank going through the door, or Eric going through the door when he's not supposed to, I'm going to get an email that says, "Hey, Eric just come through your door."
No, better idea.
Terrifying.
It's a door lock built into a camera system, and the only way to get the door to unlock is by doing a dance.
There you go. Yeah, I like it.
You got to do the Fortnite dance. Uh-oh. Nobody's going to get through that door.
The flossy flow. Yeah.
Everybody's going to go, nope. Walk away.
You'll never get robbed again.
This is too bad. So, yeah, no, like seriously, I want to work on that. So whenever you're up for it, Eric, I want to start getting our code back because I don't have the code anymore. So I'm hoping you still have a copy of it somewhere.
It's on one of the pies.
I think it's on one of the pies. I don't have the code.
It's also on one of the door sensors themselves.
Oh, yeah.
You can't read the code off the door sensor.
Mm-hmm. Remember that, buddy? We tried.
You can't read it back because all you can do is load it. That's it.
That's weird. You'd think there would be some way you could.
But when you load it, you can load the script and then copy the script.
You would think that there would be some way that you could extract that. That's strange.
I'll download Arduino IED on my computer and I'll take a look because I think I have at least one of the doors because you guys didn't get the door sensors, did you?
Eli said to leave them behind, is what I was told.
What?
Yeah, that's why Darnell said he didn't grab them because Eli said to leave them.
Yep.
Oh, Eli's still in the building. He can grab them.
Yeah, well, you should tell him to fucking grab them. That's like I don't know, over $100 worth of fucking boards
that they don't want anymore, and they specifically told us to take.
Well, exactly. That's my point. Regardless, those things are like fucking $4 a board, and we have 20 of those in there. So excuse me,
they gave me one of their TVs, not willingly, but they gave me one of their TVs.
God.
So yeah.
This is going on YouTube, by the way.
I don't care.
All right, I'm getting off.
What are you gonna do?
Plausible deniability.
All right, good talk. And I said, have your ideas to Leon by Friday. Leon,
Okay, I mean, we game on Friday anyway,
but you
so
want me to 3D print? Could you said you want to have it done in like a day or so. Do you think you can have it to me by tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah, if I have a chance. I mean, it's not like a super big rush. So as soon as I get it to you, just
I'll
whenever
work on
you
it as soon as I get it.
Okay, I appreciate you.
No problem. All right, guys. Good meeting, and I'll talk to you later.
All right.
talk to you later, man.
See
See you
ya.
next week.